Hey everybody, Sean here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in Nekketsu Ice Hockey, grabbing the Dodgeball Club Plays Hockey 2 achievement. This is to beat story mode using the Dodgeball team. So start up the game, and to unlock the Dodgeball team, you have to punch in a very specific password. So go to one player, and you want to make sure you punch in 4728. Unfortunately, you can only use one password at a time, which means you can't skip to the last game. So you have to play through the entirety of story mode to get this achievement done, which is of course going to take quite a while. The story mode is going to consist of 8 games, each of which are going to be 3 rounds of 3 minutes, so 9 minutes total per game. A total of 8 games is going to amount to 72 minutes, so the quickest you could beat this achievement is going to be just over an hour, so get ready for the long grind. Now, when it comes to actually winning, basically what you want to do is you just want to bring the puck up to the opponent's goal, and instead of relying on power shots, you basically want to rely on smaller shots and tip-ins. So make sure you don't hold your shot button down to do a power shot, just do a normal shot. The best means of scoring is basically to use a normal shot to stun the goalie and just run into the puck to tip it in to get an easy goal. And basically you just want to repeat this same strategy for the entirety of the run. The game is going to be quite long. Once again, every game is 9 minutes, so I just recommend building up a really big lead and then just running out the clock the best you can. In these early games, it's really easy to score because you are just starting out, but the game is going to get significantly harder. However, you do have a save system to take advantage of, so just make sure you make a save every time you score a goal or eat up a significant amount of the clock, and make sure you load up from your save in case the opponent starts scoring too often. The first match against the Kendo team is pretty simple. You could probably win that by double digits and still be good. After that, game 2 is going to take place against the baseball team. Again, this is going to be a pretty simple team with pretty low stats. However, this is going to be the first team that is going to start using power shots on you. So at this point, you want to start practicing trying to either catch them, or you want to stick to just relying on the save system completely. It's going to be a little frustrating if you are saving and reloading. However, that is your best means of getting the games done in an efficient manner without having the other team score a huge margin on you. After that, we are going to have the all-girls team. This team is going to be pretty frustrating since their power shot is super cheap and will knock out your goalie. So if you ever have them get a shot off on you, you definitely want to rely on your save system, because trying to play any round without having a goalkeeper is going to be really hard, because obviously you have no one to block the shots for you. But once you manage to get past that, we are going to move on to game 4, where we are going to play against the American football team. This is going to be another game where we are just going to keep up with our strategy. Make sure you get the puck, make sure you try to run it in, and try your best to stun the goalie. And whenever you get the open puck, just make sure you get it in with a tip in while the goalie is stunned. Pretty simple strategy, but it's definitely foolproof on this. Try your best to build up a big enough lead as you can, and then make sure you take advantage of that in-game save system. Whenever you lose your lead, just make sure you load up from your save, and we should be able to win things a-okay. Even if you win by 1 point, that's still good enough to move on to the next round, which we are going to fight against the motorcycle roller skate gang. These guys are going to be pretty tough, and we also have a stage hazard in this stage. Every once in a while, you should get struck by lightning. However, that does apply to the opponent as well, so you can try to take advantage of that. However, it is going to be completely random. Just keep that in mind while you're playing this. But other than that little obstacle, you should be able to keep up our same strategy of just relying on small shots and tip-ins, building up a big enough lead, and just eating up the rest of the game clock. Once we wrap that up, we are going to actually start playing against the real hockey teams. We are going to play the tournament qualifier against Shiragani High. You are going to play on an actual ice rink this time, on this nice blue ice. So once again, you want to keep up the same strategy. However, we are going to prioritize running out the clock in these later games, because it's going to get pretty frustrating trying to load the game every time we lose the puck. So my best advice for running the clock out is to give it to Kunio, who should be your forward, and then all you want to do is just circle the ice rink the best you can until you lose the puck. Once you lose the puck, though, you want to play very defensively and try to get it back, and then continue to eat up the game clock. Basically, your goal here is is try to put up any number of goals you can and then just run the clock out and make sure you make a save every time you eat up a significant amount of the clock this way. And this is probably the fastest way of getting the games done without having too much frustration with the other team scoring. Make sure you try to cross the defense up whenever you can if they are straight in front of you. Make sure you try to do some zigzags, and you should be able to get away with eating up a significant amount of the clock and pretty much win every game by a small margin. So this is definitely the mindset you want to carry on to the final 3 games. We should start the tournament in the quarterfinals. We are going to play against this team. This is the Banba Industries high school team. Same strategy, just make sure you put up a small lead and just focus on running the clock out. I would recommend that you try to put up at least 2 or 3 points before you start our circle strategy. And basically, you just want to circle the rink until you run out the clock on all 3 periods, and you should be good for winning the game by a super small margin, which is a win nonetheless, and that's going to carry us on throughout the entire tournament. So we're just going to repeat this until we beat the game more or less. So after that, it's going to be on to the semifinals. We are going to play against Shintanoji Academy. So you're going to play against these guys. Once again, we're going to keep up the same strategy as always. Make sure you tip the puck in, try to build up a small lead, and then off to the races in terms of running the clock out. Pretty cheap and cheesy way of doing it. However, this is going to be the most efficient way if you aren't so good at the game. And then once you finish up that 9 minutes, it's going to be on to the finals. In the finals, we are going to play against Daisetsuzan High. This is going to be the same team where we use the password to skip to in our initial playthrough, as well as the 1 miscellaneous achievement. So the strategy is still going to work here. I recommend utilizing your small shots and your tip-ins. Put up any amount of goals you can, and then just try your best to run the clock out. You want to be a little careful during this game because this team's special shots are going to be quite overpowered. So try your best to definitely try to catch them. Some of them are going to be uncatchable. The best one you can catch is probably this zigzagging shot right here, but other than that, the hurricane and the rotating shot are going to be a little hard to deal with, especially if they knock out your goalie. However, with enough perseverance and enough running out the clock, and once again taking advantage of that in-game save system, you should be able to beat them. And once you do, once the credits start rolling, you should be able to get this achievement, 100 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.